So the Supreme Court struck down Donald Trump's tariffs and said he can't do that. And we knew he couldn't do that. We were just waiting for the Supreme Court to actually uphold something of that nature. And of course, he turns around and immediately says he can. And he now slaps a new $10 or $15 tariff globally, which is going to get challenged in court. And we're going to go through all of the legal process all over again. Meanwhile, he can't impose the tariffs that he already imposed, which means all of that money that the federal government brought in the form of tariffs has to go back. Now, where it's actually going to go is the companies that paid, the importers that paid the tariff at the ports. Where it should go back to is the people that wound up paying the increased prices as a result of the companies paying the import tax. You see, what's going to happen is the companies had to pay the import tax, the tariff. And they passed that cost to us. We paid that higher cost. And now the companies are going to get their money back. And it's not coming back to us. It's going to go into their pocket. So they charged us more money so that they didn't have to pay for it, right? We paid it. And now they're going to get all that money back. So where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us shit out of luck is where it leaves us. Now, there are a couple of governors that are trying to do something. My governor, J.B. Pritzker here in Illinois, recently submitted an invoice to the federal government, right after the Supreme Court ruling. I don't know, $8+ billion. That's the amount of money that was taxed from Illinois families as a result of these tariffs. And Gavin Newsom is saying this.
As it relates to the tariffs were illegal from day one. We were in Fresno. We were the first state. I was the first governor to announce the lawsuit with Attorney General Bonta on the illegal tariffs under the emergency authority that Donald Trump was asserting. Shocking to me that 3 members of the Supreme Court actually agree with Donald Trump. There's nothing in the International Economic Emergencies Power Act that gives the President of the United States unilateral authority to impose a tax increase on ranchers, on farmers, on small businesses, on you and me. Donald Trump should return that money immediately. He has an obligation, $1,751 per family, but we're taxed by Donald Trump. He took hundreds of billions of dollars from working folks, from the ag community, from small businesses, for this vanity play, this illegal action. And he finally was held to account. The rule of law won out.
So Pritzker's trying to get back over $8 billion for the state of Illinois. Gavin Newsom is saying he owes every American family $1,751 because that's on average what the American family spent in increased prices as a result of those tariffs. But at the end of the day, we're not going to get that money back. At the end of the day, the corporations are going to make out again. The corporations are going to get all of that money that we paid back. So, I've been operating under the assumption that Donald Trump is just too fucking stupid to understand how any of this shit works. And I still believe that that's the case. But there's a small sliver in the back of my head that's like, did he do this so that he could help his buddies and corporations rake in billions of dollars? I don't believe it. But there's a sliver in the back of my head that's like, man, it just seems awfully fishy that a bunch of extraordinarily rich billionaire CEOs who have a rich billionaire CEO buddy of theirs in the White House are getting ready to rake in billions upon billions upon billions of dollars by getting their tariffs returned to them by the federal government. But we already paid those fucking tariffs. It just seems like another giant Ponzi scheme to me. But here we are. That money's got to get returned to the companies, and those companies, not only are those companies not going to give that money back to us, those companies are not even going to lower their prices now. Why? We're already paying those prices. Think about post-COVID for a minute, right? Nobody was doing any business during the COVID shutdown, and then coming out of COVID, everybody raised their prices to make up for the losses that they incurred during the COVID shutdown. And once everything stabilized, they never brought those prices back down. Why? We were already paying those increased prices. So what's the reason to lower the prices? Everybody's used to paying the higher prices, right? Same thing here. we're used to paying the higher prices because of the tariffs. Now that the tariffs get to go bye-bye, they're not going to lower the prices for us, and we are surely not going to see our money back. Thank you, Gavin Newsom and J.B. Pritzker, for trying, but I'm not holding my breath.